Well, monarchy or not, the so called bearers of the modern aristocracy will always find a way to tighten their grip on things. So, our today's bulletin is specifically based on many such positive and negative steps taken by the people across nations. So, on one hand, we hear that Brazil will soon accept Bitcoin, while China's central bank body calls for a strict control of the NFT space. Whereas in the United States, Senator Yellen has recently made some intriguing remarks on digital assets, and a cryptocurrency developer has been sentenced to 5 years of jail for breaking sanctions. So, without causing much of delay, let's quickly jump onto our main feed for today. So, for today, let's begin with some positivity coming straight from Brazil. On April 11, the publication Valor Econômico reported that Brazilian National Congress plans to enact a bill regulating cryptocurrency market in the first half of the year. The measure was connected to another crypto-centric bill that had already been approved. Discipline services linked to operations carried out with crypto asset on electronic trading platform, according to the bill's menu. This measure has been the subject of debate since 2015 and it was finally approved in the first round of voting. Senator Iraja Abreu and Deputy Audio Ribeiro. The bill's rapporteurs are already working on a single text of a full Senate vote. The bill will be used by Senate President Rodrigo Pacheco for an April plenary vote. However, unlike El Salvador, its ratification will not grant Bitcoin legal tender status. 3 points are highlighted in the bill. To begin with, its ratification will give the president the power to nominate a federal group to determine rules for the country's crypto market. It also stated that anyone found guilty of illegal acts or fraud will be punished to 4 to 8 years in prison and must also pay a fine. Lastly, to attract crypto miners to the country, the bill mentions a group of incentives for months who will set up their shop in Brazil. Brazil's acceptance of Bitcoin will be a huge success for the crypto community. But next up is a rather upsetting update because China's central bank body calls for strict control of NFT. Let's dig a little deeper. In the recent years, China's NFT market has become increasingly active. The NFT has shown special potential in enriching the digital economic model and fostering the development of the cultural and creative sectors as an innovative application of blockchain technology. Nonetheless, there are hazards such as speculation, money laundering, and illegal financial activities that are not readily apparent. Three major government groups linked with the People's Bank of China have launched an endeavor to alleviate financial risk related with non-fungible tokens market. According to Shanghai Securities News, NFT is thought to be utilized for speculating, money laundering, and other criminal financial operation in addition to developing the digitized art. As a result, the trade associations have recommended tougher regulations to keep NFT industry in check. Other efforts include protecting intellectual property rights for commodities used to support non-fungible tokens and fostering real digital culture and creative work to protect consumers and their right to fair trade. All the information relating to NFT platforms and sales data shall be fully and accurately published. Consumers protection measures have been advocated by the PBOC regulated groups. Securities, credit, insurance, and any other financial asset, including precious metals, would be prohibited as underlying commodities for NFTs. Local governments must also verify that aforementioned assets are not mislabeled as NFTs. NFTs can be used to hide an IOC or any other type of token based fundraising. The banning of centralized transaction with NFT is another part of this approach. Centralized bidding, computerized matching, the employment of market makers, anonymous transactions, standardized contract transactions, and any other NFT related services fall under this category. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT, Tether stablecoin, are three significant cryptocurrencies that should not be utilized for NFT pricing or settlement. Local Chinese authorities must also demand comprehensive name verification of NFT sellers and buyers, collect and maintain KYC data, and actively collaborate with any governmental entities attempting to prevent or investigate money laundering activities. Moving forward to our next coverage. In the US, Senator Yellen has made some interesting remarks on digital assets. Let's find out what they are. Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen spoke at American University's Co-God School of Business Center for Innovation on her thoughts on digital asset policy, innovation and regulation, as well as the Biden administration's approach to digital assets. She began her address by recognizing the growth and importance of digital assets, noting that while relatively young, they had been a part of bigger trend known as financial digitalization. People are becoming less reliant on centralized arbitrators like banks and other financial companies, according to Yellen. She does not, however, bring up the main issue, which is that the same assets cannot be spent twice. The secretary then went on to talk about 5 lessons learned as technology advances: the nature of responsible innovation, the structure of appropriate guardians, the fundamentals of the financial system, our role in the global economy, and the value of collaboration were amongst the topic covered in the course. She began by discussing how responsible innovation is critical to the financial system's growth. The idea of introducing a central bank digital currency was examined, and she stated that it may become a sort of trusted money that can give some of the expected benefits of digital assets in comparison to traditional currency. The administration will also release a report on the future of money and payments, according to the newspaper. Yellen then discussed the global financial crisis and how it occurred as a result of regulations failing to keep up with the pace of innovation. She believes that the law should be based on the dangers involved and the day-to-day actions that occurs in the market rather than on technology. Sovereign money is at the heart of a well-functioning financial system, she added, and the United States benefits from the dollar's central role in the global banking. Janet Yellen concluded her lecture by emphasizing the importance of collaboration in order to achieve responsible innovation. Many of our history's most significant innovations have involved all of us, she remarked, referring to the policymakers, businesses, campaigners, scholars, inventors, and citizens. Lastly, to wind up our session, we have an update on what the United States does if someone tries to violate their sanctions. Yes, you have heard it right. A crypto developer from the United States tried to break the sanction and has been jailed for 5 years now. Let's find out what happened. Virgil Griffith, an Ethereum developer, was sentenced to 63 months in prison and a 100,000 fine by United States District Judge Kevin Castle of the Southern District of New York on April 12th. He was discovered attending a meeting in which he expressed his support for the North Korea's defiance of US economic sanctions. According to the judge, the developer intended to distribute information on how to evade sanctions, which aggravated his crime. As a result, his actions were deliberate and he was attempting to disrupt the sanction regime. Griffith attended the meeting in April 2019 while posing as a North Korean, despite the fact that he had been denied entry to the nation by US authorities since early 2019. He presented ideas on how North Korea can avoid sanctions by using digital currencies and smart contracts during nuclear discussion with the US and blockchain and cryptocurrency conference in Pyongyang. He was detained by the FBI shortly after returning from the conference in November. His defense team had argued that he suffers from an obsessive compulsive personality disorder, OCPD, and narcissistic personality disorder, and has attempted to prove that his fixation with North Korea led to his conduct in order to shorten his sentence. Griffith later apologized in court and stated that his psychiatric troubles had been resolved. The judge stated that the reality is that Virgil Griffith planned to return home as a crypto hero, to be respected and lauded for defying government sanctions, for his courage and nobility. So now, we'll round off our analysis for today and see you all tomorrow with even more exciting content. In the meantime, if you have any recommendations or opinions, do let us know in the comment sections below. You can also join our Telegram channel for free crypto alerts. For instructions, reviews and tutorials, you can visit our blog which is linked right below. Also, do subscribe to our channel for daily crypto market updates. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day ahead.